On the Central Bank Tiger Network from Learfield, this is Tiger Talk, presented by Bud's Classic Barbecue, located on 9th Street in downtown Columbia. Also brought to you by Bud Light, easy to drink, easy to enjoy. Now live from Bud's Classic Barbecue, here's your host, the voice of the Tigers, Mike Kelly.
But on Matrix Midwest, I'm Mike Kelly. Coach Eliah Drinkwitz is alongside. We're with you tonight until just about 8 o'clock. Coming up on this show, the coach is with us until the bottom of the hour. Al Pogue, Missouri's assistant head coach and also cornerbacks coach, will join us coming up at about 7:30, and we'll close the show coming up tonight with the St. Louis native, the cornerback, the transfer from Clemson. Toriano Pride will be here coming up at about 7:50 this evening. Missouri back in action coming up this Saturday afternoon at 3:15 as they welcome the Commodores of Vanderbilt to town. It'll be the 9th consecutive sellout at Faurot Field in Columbia. Remember, it's the opening of SEC play. Yeah, give yourself a round of applause. Fans are encouraged to wear gold to the game. The parking lots will open at 8 a.m. And coming up at halftime, the Hall of Fame class will be introduced this year, welcoming from softball Krishna Lee, from track Chris Rohr, from football the late Bill Whitaker and Martin T. Rucker, Dr. Amelia Moses from golf, and Wayne and Susan Kreklow from the sport of volleyball. So that'll come up at halftime as Missouri will welcome Vanderbilt to town. Last Saturday, the Tigers beat Boston College 27-21 before 62,621 fans. Another sellout as Mizzou wins its 19th consecutive non-conference home game, which is a school record. So congratulations to Coach Drink and the Tigers on that feat. 7 consecutive wins, longest active winning streak in the nation. Yes, knock on wood, everybody. There we go. With that, let's bring into the conversation the head coach of the 7th-ranked Tigers, Eliah Drinkwitz, ladies and gentlemen.
How you doing?
I'm well. How are you?
Good. I want to start the show by sending my condolences to the family of Gary Klopper, who was known as Texas Tiger. Had met him several times when we were down in Dallas doing our caravan and our stops, and his family reached out to me and let me know he passed away surprisingly, I guess. Yeah. And so just want to say we're going to miss him and appreciate all his support. And then obviously on Friday night here, we had a hero come along.
I just heard about this.
Yeah.
You informed me of this today?
Yeah. So Peter Burns, the SEC was down here. A lot of the crew, Commissioner Sankey, and Peter Burns was eating, and he was choking, and passerby or somebody who was in here saved his life, performed the Heimlich maneuver and stepped up right when we needed, just like you would expect a true son
Absolutely.
To do. And so very appreciative of those two guys. I think his name was Jack Foster, so appreciate Jack Foster being a hero in a time of need. That would have been a bad deal.
Yeah.
Bad deal for Peter Burns to go out like that, in front of the commissioner.
Would have been a bad deal indeed. Yeah. Chris Doering wouldn't have known what to do in the mornings.
I know. No, he would not. It would have been somebody in Chris Doering.
Yeah.
So.
Wow.
Yep. There you go.
So I'm glad Peter Burns is okay, and maybe he'll make it back to Columbia at some point in time, sometime soon, huh?
Yeah, no doubt.
Peter Burns back. Tigers win this weekend, 27-21, against a very good Boston College team coached by Bill O'Brien in his first year. How valuable is it in a game like that, when you really hadn't had to deal with adversity on either side of the football, to have to deal with adversity and see your team not only handle it, but being able to excel and win the game?
Yeah, I mean, you have to be tested. You have to be tested with some sort of adversity. And when your defense hasn't given up a point, in 2 games, there's not really much adversity to face. There's not really much testing going on. So for our team to be able to not play our best, give up a few cheap touchdowns, not really convert third downs the way we feel like we can, but to find a way to play together in that second and third quarter, to really surge out and get a lead, to execute in the last minutes of the game in order to keep the offense on the field and not give them another chance to score. I was really proud of them. Last year there was a couple of those moments early in the season. I think back to the Middle Tennessee game that really galvanized our team. There was that win, the back and forth versus Kansas State, and then we had to do it again versus Memphis. That really put us on a track of trusting each other, improving each week, knowing that we can count on each other. And I think I saw that today in practice. There is a a competitive spirit amongst this team that they want to compete to get better, and they know that you can only do that in practice, and they were very responsive. You know, I challenged them. I challenged our staff. I challenged our players. Put your feelings in a box. Don't take anything that we're saying personal, but these things have to get taken off tape, and you can't deny that you know, we can't have this happen if we want to win. And I tell you what, they responded really well. We had a very spirited physical practice today.
A couple of interceptions in the game, one by Travis Johnson and also by Dre Norwood. How big was the Johnson interception, particularly the timing?
Yeah, timing. You know, because we still hadn't scored a touchdown. We'd gotten down there, shot ourselves in the foot twice, and had to kick 2 field goals. But our defense was getting their footing. And then, you know, I told on the headsets already that, hey, next drive we score, we're going to go for 2. We're going to make sure this game's tied up. And, I mean, it must have been a play later. Trevez gets the interception, perfect play, middle field safety, plays a 60-40 lean that Coach Euro's really instituted for our defensive backfield. So he'd sold it like he was going to lean to the field. Quarterback planted to try to throw the boundary seam, and Trevez is right there. Big-time play and catch, and then for our offense to capitalize, hit the 2-point conversion. Defense go back out there, stop them again. Offense gets the ball, goes down, gets the field goal before half. And then we get the ball to start the second half and go score a touchdown was ultimately the difference in the game.
Let's talk about the middle 8, if you will, but I want to begin in the first half and how much the 2-minute timeout has changed college football in a short amount of time. Just elaborate for the fans the different things that puts on the table for a head coach.
Well, I'm not the best mathematician here, but there's a lot of different variables that can now play into it with the ability to stop the clock. And you know, in a 2-minute offense, you figure that it's about a yard per second, but then with every timeout and every out of bounds, you get to add another play. But those things change when you have a 2-minute timeout, when you have the clock stops after a first down, and so you got to really be on top of it. The thing that you really got to use your timeouts and clock stoppage to manipulate what they need to do on the offensive side of the ball. So when it was 3rd and 10 midfield, we called timeout. I called timeout, anticipating that they would actually run the ball to try to get into field goal range, but instead they threw the ball incomplete, which now puts them in a position where they have to punt, and we were able to pocket both of our timeouts, which was the difference in us going 90, you know, we were back on the 9-yard line, being able to gain right around 60 yards and kicking a field goal. So, you know, those things go back and forth. We spend a lot of time working on it. We spend it every Wednesday. So our players are pretty prepared for the moment. I thought you could really see our guys being very cautious about or cognizant about first down, out of bounds. You know, outside the numbers go out of bounds, inside the numbers turn up and get the first down, getting on the clock or getting on the ball, making sure we were spiking the ball. So very proud of those guys for the execution. How
about a congratulations too to Blake Craig, the SEC Special Teams Player of the Week, the young man from Lee Summit, a career-long 56-yard field goal that might have been good from 70.
Yeah, I don't know if it had been good from 70, but it was good from 56, and it was right down the middle, and it was high. It was kind of interesting because when you watch that kick, you think back to that was the exact same hash, exact same direction that Harrison made the kick for Kansas State, which gave us all the confidence in the world. Obviously, we had it in him anyway, but I think there's a lot of confidence swelling in Blake. You know, I don't know about him. You know, he was mouthing off in the media today. I'm going to have to remind him, we don't need a celebrity kicker, all right? We just need somebody that puts it through the upright. So we might have to put the old kibosh on him doing any more interviews.
He was even asked about which nickname does he prefer.
Yeah, here we go again.
Here we go again.
Yeah, I like the thinner kicker.
That's Eliah Drinkwitz, and I'm Mike Kelly. We're back to Bud's Classic Barbecue on 9th Street in Columbia after this on the Central Bank Tiger Network from Learfield.
Some days you hit snooze, but not today. Today you have to go on a run to get burgers for the tailgate. You've got to haul something heavy, a cooler stocked with Bud Light. And you've got beer and football, nothing is hard, until the other team scores. Bud Light, easy to drink, easy to enjoy. Enjoy responsibly. 21 plus, copyright 2024, Anheuser-Busch, Bud Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
You could call it swagger. You could call it a vibe. You could call it confidence. You could call it cool. Or you could call it exactly as it is, Tiger Pride. Show your Mizzou spirit with the Tiger Checking Card, only from Central Bank. Sign up today at tigerchecking.com. Central Bank, strong roots, endless possibilities. Member FDIC.
College sports fans now have access to hundreds of weekly podcasts that zero in on the college sports world. Now available in the Varsity Podcast Network and part of the new Varsity app. The app is free and available from wherever you get your favorite apps. Download the Varsity app today to have access to hundreds of national podcasts as well as your favorite team-focused podcasts. The Varsity Podcast Network, now available for free on the Varsity app. Download from the App Store and listen today.
It all starts with a tag. Identifying each animal allows you to better manage the entire herd. And when you're ready to take the next step, trust Allflex Custom ID tags with crisp, clean, permanent laser ink marking and place a proud brand on your tags to mark your legacy. When you think ID, think Allflex. Because you can't manage what you can't identify. We help you bring it all together.
Preparation is the key to success on game day. And like your favorite Tigers on the field, you need to be ready right from the opening kickoff. Cenex has your pregame routine covered. We've got your salty snacks, your sweet treats, ice-cold beverages to wash them down, and fresh tanks of propane to fire up the grill. Fuel your fandom at your local Cenex station. Tiger Pride, powered locally.
Oh, did you get us switched over to shelter insurance?
Actually, I found a deal online.
You did? Does your deal come with award-winning customer service?
Oh, I'm not sure.
Does the deal include a local agent?
Doesn't actually say.
Can we create a customized plan that fits our needs? Let's just call the local shelter agent.
For insurance that fits just right, find a shelter agent near you. We're your shield. We are your shelter.
We are at Bud's Classic Barbecue for all radio shows during the football and basketball season on 9th Street in downtown Columbia, across from the J School. Barbecue done right, open 7 days a week. Let them do the cooking while you make the memories. Mizzou Athletics would like to thank its premier partners, MU Healthcare and Shelter Insurance, and let Shelter help you out. They're ranked number 1 in customer satisfaction for auto insurance in the Central Region by J.D. Power. 6 of the last 7 years. We're your shield. We're your shelter. And don't forget, not only are we on the Central Bank Tiger Network, but also on TV, thanks to Matrix Midwest, and they have their live show before and after each Mizzou football game from down on the turf at Furrow Field. Tigers and Vanderbilt coming up on Saturday. Any injuries to speak of from this past weekend?
Yeah, we got that old injury report coming out Wednesday, and I'd hate to give up anything, but no, we did have one. Joseph Charleston got nicked up late in the game, so we'll see. He was out at practice today. You know, if he can't go, Trevez will be ready to go, but still, he'll be questionable. You know, we kind of have a policy if you got to practice by Thursday in order to be able to play for us. So we'll see what his availability is come Thursday.
Do you like the SEC's new standardized?
I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, here's the deal. It's a little bit overbearing. You got to do it Wednesday, then Thursday, then Friday, and then Saturday. Like, that's a little bit much for us.
Why can't you just do it one day before the game?
Yeah, you know, I guess people have serious gambling issues, and they need to know that information 4 different times. But I figured it was just like maybe do it a Thursday afternoon and then 90 minutes before the game. I don't know. I'm not a gambler.
Yeah, nor am I, but good luck to those who are. So last week, and this is a subject that you know, you don't want to talk about, but you have to talk about because it's life. When kids commit to the University of Missouri, when they sign with your program, their parents are asking you not only to develop them, but to take care of them.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, there are things that happen along the way that only God controls.
Yeah.
For instance, last week, Luke Bauer was on. He lost his father, Jeff, during the summer after a long battle with cancer, courageous battle. Hell of a guy that went too soon. Coach Drink announced after the Buffalo game that Eddie Kelly Jr.'s mother passed away during the week prior to the Buffalo game. So those are 2 scenarios in which you have 2 young men that are dealing with significant losses in their life. And what I'm curious about inside of your program, what are some of the mechanisms that are in place to help those players cope with situations like that?
Yeah, you know, I think that's one of the reasons we all enjoy coaching is the personal relationships with our players and seeing them more than just a football player, helping them walk through life from that age of 18 to 23 or in Chuck Kick's place. I think he's 28. But I think we have a lot of different things in our – first, it's personal relationship with a position coach, but then we have a director of player relations, which is Atia Ellison, former player, NFL player from St. Louis, and he does a really good job of developing a big brother relationship with those guys. Evan, Bame also is in there. And then we have mental health professionals that we also utilize, but then we have a really strong faith aspect. We have a team Bible study every Thursday night that's just players only, player sponsored, and then a Friday night before the games, Michael Porter Sr. and several other guys, but they do a really good job on Friday nights doing a Bible study for us, and those men have been instrumental in these times, being able to make calls and check on and make sure that there's a loving arm and a loving embrace and somebody that they can talk to during these times.
Let's transition back to the game. There are fans that have asked me, and I think it's something that they'd be interested in hearing you talk about from an offensive perspective. Guys come in motions, and a lot of times the route of those motions are different. Could go behind the line of scrimmage, could go between the quarterback and the running back, could go behind the entire formation, or come back in and circle around.
Yeah.
What are you trying to accomplish offensively, given the different path in which that player may be taking?
The number one thing we're trying to do is defenses identify formations. They call them pictures. And then they have different adjustments based off every motion that occurs. So if you're in a simple motion across where you're trading one strength to another, then they've got to decide, how are we going to rotate that? Are we going to rotate it through safeties? Are we going to bump the linebackers? There's a different element to what you have to do with a speed motion or what we call an orbit motion, which is behind. Mm-hmm. And then you've got the fake motion where you come across and then you come out the back door. And at the end of the day, defense is about 11 people playing together, performing. If you can get one person in that 11-person communication chain to break down, you got a chance to have an explosive play. And so for us, while the motions seem very complicated to the other people, they're not really changing anything for us. So it's a way for us to challenge the communication system of a defense. Boston College actually got us on one that was the result of one of their big plays. So it's kind of a cat and mouse game, and you got to really sharpen up your communication skills on both sides if you want to do it.
Nate Noel goes over 100 yards rushing for the first time as a Missouri Tiger. That brings a smile to your face. I'm just curious, the job that young man has done in terms of becoming, I don't want to say a feature back, but a very important back into your backfield.
Yeah, I think both of them really played well. But we were able to really get that outside zone going, which is something that Nate is very familiar with and something he's run his entire career. And so I thought he did an excellent job. We've got to do a better job of sustaining blocks on the perimeter so that we can we were creating explosive plays, but we got to create finishing plays, which finish in the end zone. And so the challenge for our wide receivers and our offensive line, we talk about backside blocks win championships, and we talk about front side blocks win games. We were winning the front side block, but if we want to take this thing to the next level to win championships, we got to get that backside block taken care of. We got to get our perimeter blocking much more improved, because I think there's a lot more 100-yard games in Nate and Marcus's future if we can do those things.
It's Coach Drinkwitz. I'm Mike Kelly. We're at Bud's Classic Barbecue and on Matrix Midwest on the Central Bank Tiger Network from Learfield.
Black and gold season never ends at the Tiger Team Store. Gear up for game day with the largest official selection of black and gold gear and gifts. From the latest Mizzou SEC gear to everything you need for your tailgate, the Tiger Team Store is your store for all things Mizzou. The Tiger Team Store is your official store of Mizzou Athletics. Open Monday through Saturday, 10 a.m. until 5 p.m. with extended hours on game day. Located at Faroe Field or at TigerTeamStore.com. It's black and gold season at the Tiger Team Store.
At MediaCom, we believe no matter where you live or work, you should have access to fast, reliable internet. That's why we're one of the first in the nation to bring gig speeds to every customer we serve. Why we invest billions of dollars into our network. And it's why you can always count on MediaCom to deliver 99.99% network reliability. The fact is, it doesn't matter where you are. With MediaCom, you're always moving forward. Network reliability based on the 2022 MediaCom Executive Summary Outage Exception Report.
Which schools will take home the prestigious Learfield Directors Cup as the top college athletic programs for the 2024-25 college athletic season? You can follow the standings of your favorite team or alma mater at L Directors Cup on Twitter and online at thedirectorscup.com. Trophies will be awarded in June 2025 to the winning institutions in all college sports divisions. Learfield Directors Cup, the crowning achievement in college athletics.
Addison's restaurants are great local spots to visit before or after all Mizzou home games. Addison's has 2 locations to choose from in Southwest and downtown Columbia. Addison's features a full bar with over 20 beers on tap, including local brewers, and of course their famous Nachos Bianco. So, before or after the game, stop by Addison's. View the full menu online for both locations at addisonsgrill.com.
COVID-19 cases are on the rise, and peak flu season is almost here. Save time and get the updated COVID-19 vaccine and your flu shot at the same time at Hy-Vee. Schedule your updated COVID-19 vaccine and flu shot online today, or just stop by any Hy-Vee pharmacy whenever it's convenient for you. No appointment necessary. Plus, when you get your flu shot at Hy-Vee, earn a 20-cent fuel saver. Your Hy-Vee pharmacy is here to help you and your family stay healthy. Some restrictions apply.
At Country Financial, we make insurance easy, whether you're shopping for home, auto, or more. Our representatives will take the time to understand your specific needs and explain what options work best for you. Worry less and feel more confident knowing you're covered. Visit countryfinancial.com to get started today. Experience more with Country Financial. Auto and home insurance policies issued by Country Mutual Insurance Company, Country Preferred Insurance Company, and Country Casualty Insurance Company, Bloomington, Illinois.
Hey, show your swagger with a Tiger checking card from Central Bank. It's the only place for Tiger checking. Open it today, www.centralbank.net. Genteel is now the official apparel provider of Mizzou sports properties. Check out their new collection of Mizzou apparel available at genteelapparel.com or at Bingham's in downtown Columbia the next time you're in town for game day. Genteel Apparel, a proud partner of Mizzou Athletics. A couple other things we wanted to talk about. Luther Burden, 100 yards receiving for the first time this season.
That was good to see, wasn't it?
That was good to see.
We kind of needed that.
Luther did what Luther does on that little first touchdown of the game, but also allowed his emotions to get the best of him a couple of times too, didn't he?
Yeah, and so let's start with the positives. You know, I think he did an excellent job on that third down. Really good route. Obviously, that same drive he was, or the drive before, caught the explosive play on a sail route. You know, then he had the big-time third down conversion on the scoring drive to start the second half. And then to end the game, you know, it was 3rd and 8. We called a standard play that we've been running for a long time here, and the defender actually had outside leverage on him. We were breaking on a 10 to 12 yard oil route, and he ran it perfectly, set the leverage. Quarterback had a great drop, confidence, perfect throw. You know, that was a big time play and catch. But yeah, got his emotions. You know, he's one of the best players in college football, and so people, now that he's put that on tape, are going to try to get him to blow up like that. You know, stole his mouthpiece, and then he responded. It's always the second guy that responded. And like I told him, Craig, they're probably just going to put it on eBay and make a lot of money off of it. I mean, so he's got to control his emotions. But I will say this. I mean, I lost my cool there on him, and it was on TV, and he looked me right in the eye and said, yes, sir. He didn't flinch. You know, he can take coaching, and that's one of his best attributes is when he's challenged, whether it's by another player or by a coach, to be at his best, he always responds. And so I don't think we'll have to worry about that again this year. I told him the other way we can do it is just not have that mouthpiece, you know. He don't wear it. It's just for looks.
It's just for looks. There you go.
For looks.
Vanderbilt this weekend, they come in 2-1, coming off of a loss at Georgia State on Saturday night. Just when you watch them on tape, what stands out about the Commodores, coached by Clark Lee?
I think it's Clark's best team by far. On the offensive side of the ball, they've got a great quarterback that transferred in from New Mexico State. We played against him 2 years ago. They have a clear offensive identity of what they're trying to accomplish. Last year, there were a bunch of RPOs. This year, they're clearly trying to run the ball, establish the run, get him on the perimeter. They do a really good job of attacking edges and weaknesses with unbalanced formations. You know, defensively, Clark's calling the defense. Very multiple, very much blitzing about 50% of the time. Very attacking style. So we're going to have our hands full. And like I told our team and anybody that'll listen, you know, everybody talked about, Kentucky got beat by South Carolina, blah, 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 blah. Man, in the SEC, you never worry about the previous game. It's about this week and this matchup, and it's our first game in the SEC, and it's going to be a dogfight. I mean, there's just no doubt about it. The last 3 times we've played them, it's always been a competitive game. It's always been a close game, and so we have to play our best football, which we have not yet, because it's an SEC game, and anytime you're playing an SEC opponent, you're going to get the best out of both.
Last week you saw a guy named Thomas Castellanos, small in stature, only about 5'9", but man, was he elusive and quick. This week you see a guy who's about 6'2" and about 220, and Diego Pavia, who's not afraid to take on defensive players.
I don't know if he's 6'2", but he is a downhill fullback playing quarterback. Yeah. I mean, he looks to take on tacklers. He'll lower his shoulder. He's not afraid of contact, gets on edges. He's a little bit sneaky, fast. So we're going to have to do, again, it's really 3 weeks in a row. We're going to have to contain the quarterback run and not allow them to be an extra hat in the run game for us. And obviously, you know, that's why we've got the players that we have in the defensive line. That's why we went out and got the speed that we needed with Champ and Khalil at the linebacker position. So these guys are going to have to play good, and then offensively we have to be explosive.
I want to talk about Marquise Graciela before we let you go. A guy that came in from St. Charles a couple of years ago, 3 years ago, been in the program. People have been wondering when this former 4-star guy was going to get a chance. I remember when Al Davis was on here last year, he said he's simmering. He's simmering. He's just learning. Now he's getting an opportunity. Started in the game as part of a 5-man front defensively. Just how has that man developed into the player that you want him to be?
Yeah, I think that just goes back to Coach Russell's program, you know, Elite Edge, and his ability with the Edge squad to get guys to buy into a developmental process. And everybody wants it right now. You know, he came from a program where he played both ways, played tight end, O-line, D-tackle, and because of his size, he was highly ranked and highly recruited. But it was going to take time to develop into a defensive lineman. And, man, he's really put in the work. I mean, he puts in a lot of extra work, extra time with film. Christian Williams being a mature guy in that room, teaching him what it looks like has been an awesome thing. I think Sterling Webb coming in, Chris McClellan being there. I think it's been a really good situation. And it's not just Marquise. Jalen Marshall's growing. Sam Williams is growing. That room has really become, instead of a question mark, a strength of our defense.
It's great to see you. Go get a win this weekend.
M-I-Z.
ZOU. That's Eliah Drinkwitz, and I'm Mike Kelly. When we come back, Al Pogue will join us. We'll talk about the Missouri secondary as we continue on the Central Bank Tiger Network from Learfield.
It all starts with a tag. Identifying each animal allows you to better manage the entire herd. And when you're ready to take the next step, trust Allflex Custom ID tags with crisp, clean, permanent laser ink marking, and place a proud brand on your tags to mark your legacy. When you think ID, think Allflex. Because you can't manage what you can't identify. We help you bring it all together.
You could call it swagger. You could call it a vibe. You could call it confidence. You could call it cool. Or you could call it exactly as it is, Tiger Pride. Show your Mizzou spirit with the Tiger Checking Card, only from Central Bank. Sign up today at tigerchecking.com. Central Bank, strong roots, endless possibilities. Member FDIC.
Some days you hit snooze, but not today. Today you have to go on a run to get burgers for the tailgate. You've got to haul something heavy. A cooler stocked with Bud Light. When you've got beer and football, nothing is hard. Until the other team scores. Bud Light. Easy to drink, easy to enjoy. Enjoy responsibly. 21 plus, copyright 2024, Anheuser-Busch, Bud Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
At Shelter Insurance, we believe insurance should adjust to fit your needs. That's why our agents work with you to design an auto, home, and life insurance plan that's particular to you. Insurance that fits just right. And Shelter is known for our award-winning customer service, satisfied customers, and a plan for you. Isn't it time to check Shelter out? Find an agent near you at shelterinsurance.com. We're your shield. We're your shelter.
Preparation is the key to success on game day. And like your favorite Tigers on the field, you need to be ready right from the opening kickoff. Cenex has your pregame routine covered. We've got your salty snacks, your sweet treats, ice-cold beverages to wash them down, and fresh tanks of propane to fire up the grill. Fuel your fandom at your local Cenex station. Tiger Pride, powered locally.
If you want an inside look at Mizzou football that you won't get anywhere else, you want the Inside Mizzou Athletics podcast.
Nate Noel.
Electric, game-changing, game-breaker. That's all I can really describe it as.
Zion Young.
I played lacrosse. I was the wing in lacrosse.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Were you knocking people down? Were you
that's exactly what I played, the wing to knock people down and go get that ball first.
Subscribe today to the Inside Mizzou Athletics podcast wherever you get your podcasts. Original content plus replays of Tiger Talk and more. The Inside Mizzou Athletics podcast, presented by Shelter Insurance.
Tiger Talk on the Central Bank Tiger Network from Learfield, from Bud's Classic Barbecue on 9th Street in Columbia. I'm Mike Kelly. Glad to have you with us. Hope you enjoyed our conversation with Coach Drink. Don't forget Mizzou and Vanderbilt coming up this weekend at Sold Out Memorial Stadium in Columbia. 3:15. The kick. Our coverage begins at 1:15. Let Shelter take you to the zoo this season. Find an agent near you. Shelterinsurance.com/Mizzou. They will register you for a chance to win 2 tickets to a home game sometime this season. Mizzou football proud to partner with the Missouri Credit Union and Hy-Vee in an effort to sack hunger in Missouri. For each Tiger sack during the 2024 season, each partner donates $300 to the food bank for Central and Northeast Missouri. By the way, the food bank this past weekend, as you know, was the score game. They raised $15,000 to help battle hunger in the state of Missouri. So thanks to everyone that contributed to that. And if you want to learn more, go online to scoreagainsthunger.org. He is the assistant head coach here at the University of Missouri, coaches the cornerbacks in his second season. Please welcome Al Pogue, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, thanks for having me, man.
It's great to see you, man.
No doubt. Glad to be here.
2 years, man. Can you believe it?
Yeah.
Does it seem like it's been 2 years?
It's actually my third year.
Oh, it's your third year?
Yeah, man.
Oh, I apologize.
That's okay.
So third year, and you look at the last year, 11 wins last year, off to a 3-0 start this year. Mm-hmm. So just assess through your vantage point kind of where you are as a program right now.
We are a program that's steadily, arriving, like Coach Drink says, with something to prove. We have a great vision that's set by our head football coach, and more importantly, man, the buy-in from the kids and the coaches, and I think that makes it all work. So, again, just upward trajectory, and we're just every day we're trying to find ways to improve and get better and make the experience for our kids, whether it's football, from nutrition, from spiritual growth, whatever, just make it the best experience that they have when they leave our program and say, hey, I'm a true Missouri man.
As a defense, you hit Boston College with something they didn't expect early on, and that was a 5-man front defensively, particularly in the early downs. Just a thought on how your team, after giving up some yardage early, kind of settled in and we're able to get a handle on things from a defensive perspective.
Man, it goes back to the plan that Coach Batoon had all week. We knew that when they came in, they wanted to run the football. Mm-hmm. They have had some success early on, and we know in order for us, we always talk about tough teams. We run the football, and we got to stop the run. And, we focused in on stopping the run. We want to make them, do things they weren't comfortable with doing, and I think we set out to do that with the plan that Coach Batoon had in place.
Also had 2 takeaways in the game, a couple of interceptions, one by Dre Norwood, the other one by Trevez Johnson, which came at a great time, kind of sparked the team. From a takeaway standpoint now, you look at it, 4 interceptions on the season, 1 fumble recovery, 5 takeaways through 3 games. It's obviously something that you want more of, right? Yeah. But just guys are in a position. I think of Dalen Carnell. There's been a couple opportunities last week where he could have maybe had a couple of interceptions, even against Buffalo. Just walk us through the preparation that goes into guys making sure they're in the right spot at the right time.
Yeah, well, I think you get what you emphasize. Yeah. And, you know, and one of our goals defensively, you know, are to get takeaways. Yeah. You know, we it's something that we practice. You know, we have everybody. When we have goals and we want to get strikes on the ball, you know, we want to attack the ball. You know, in the corners room, we talk about either always finishing with the ball or on the ball. You know, so and I think the kids, you know, they have bought into that, and you know, it's fun when you get a chance to go out and just take the football away from off, and I think the kids enjoy it.
Fans were concerned, obviously, losing a couple of draft picks in Dennis Rakestraw and Chris Abrams drained to the NFL this past season, about who would be able to fill the void. And, you know, a guy like Toriano Pride transfers in from Clemson. Dre Norwood just continues kind of a natural maturation process. But in that room in particular, from a cornerback standpoint, who are some of the guys that maybe are surprising you in their development at this stage of their career?
You know, you talked about Toriano and, of course, Drayton, but you have young guys like Nick Deloach. Man, he's a phenomenal kid, you know, great upside. You know, he's playing in a couple of packages, getting him, you know, inserted into the game more. Then, you know, I'm excited about Jamarian Wayne, you know, a kid who has all the measurables, who's physically, you know, gifted, you know, and man, he's a great kid, you know, super athletic, and I'm excited about him.
Let's dive into Jamarian's story just a little bit, because here's a guy that came here as a wide receiver from St. Louis, 6'2", 6'2 and a half maybe. Transitions to the defensive side of the football to play corner. When you talk about measurables, what are the other things that suit his body type to play that position?
Man, you know, what past it, let me start with the mental aspect, because I think there has to be a mental component, you know, a competitive spirit that a kid has to have in order to play the position. And that was the first thing, like his competitive spirit. It didn't matter. It did not matter where we placed Jamarian. He was going to compete. Right. And, you know, that's one of our corporates, are always competing. And, man, to have him in our room, to bring the physical skills. Say, you know, we were talking about the other day, and, you know, I tell the guys in recruit, like, hey, I got to find a kid. If you want to know what we want the corners to look like at Missouri, look at Jamarian Wayne. You know, he's big, he's long, he's physical, he can run, you know, and then more important, like I said, that competitive character is there. So he's a complete corner. We just got to get him going and get him into the game. And once he's ready, man, he's going to, you know, look out, world.
That's Al Pogue, and I'm Mike Kelly. We'll continue from Bud's Classic Barbecue after this on the Central Bank Tiger Network from Learfield.
It's game day, Tigers. Score a touchdown this fall with fast check-ins, short security lines, and nonstop flights on American Airlines from right here in Columbia. Whether you're traveling for the next big game or a quick getaway, Columbia Regional Airport gets you there easier and without the drive. Take the home field advantage to the skies at flycou.com. Columbia Regional Airport. There sooner, home faster.
The Club at Old Hawthorne is a terrific golf course with amazing practice facilities, which is why the Mizzou golf teams play here. Here's what you might not know. The Club at Old Hawthorne is a community with a welcoming environment that's a perfect fit for an active lifestyle. Golf, tennis, pickleball, swimming, and a fitness center with classes all at one club. The Club at Old Hawthorne. Visit oldhawthorne.com to learn more or schedule a tour. I'm Mike Kelly, the voice of the Missouri Tigers. How much do I love Old Hawthorne? I live here.
COVID-19 cases are on the rise, and peak flu season is almost here. Save time and get the updated COVID-19 vaccine and your flu shot at the same time at Hy-Vee. Schedule your updated COVID-19 vaccine and flu shot online today, or just stop by any Hy-Vee pharmacy whenever it's convenient for you. No appointment necessary. Plus, when you get your flu shot at Hy-Vee, earn a 20-cent fuel saver. Your Hy-Vee pharmacy is here to help you and your family stay healthy. Some restrictions apply.
At Country Financial, we make insurance easy. Whether you're shopping for home, auto, or more, our representatives will take the time to understand your specific needs and explain what options work best for you. Worry less and feel more confident knowing you're covered. Visit countryfinancial.com to get started today. Experience more with Country Financial. Auto and home insurance policies issued by Country Mutual Insurance Company, Country Preferred Insurance Company, and Country Casualty Insurance Company, Bloomington, Illinois.
It's time to get back into routine that focuses on you. Move better, feel better, simply live better at Wilson's Fitness. Escape reality in the indoor saltwater pool. Detox in the saunas or heat things up with our hot yoga. Wilson's is here to support you, motivate you, and help smash your goals with group fitness classes, personal coaching, and endless amenities. Move better, feel better, simply live better at Wilson's Fitness in Columbia. Visit them at wilsonsfitness.com.
Black and gold season never ends at the Tiger Team Store. Gear up for game day with the largest official selection of black and gold gear and gifts. From the latest Mizzou SEC gear to everything you need for your tailgate, the Tiger Team Store is your store for all things Mizzou. The Tiger Team Store is your official store of Mizzou Athletics. Open Monday through Saturday, 10 a.m. until 5 p.m. with extended hours on game day. Located at Faroe Field or at TigerTeamStore.com. It's black and gold season at the Tiger Team Store.
In our next segment, Toriano Pride will be with us. We'll introduce you to that native of St. Louis, the Missouri cornerback who wears number 2. Had the pick 6 against Murray State. This is the Socket Fiber Assistant Coaches conversation with Missouri Assistant Head Coach Al Pogue, who coaches those cornerbacks. Don't forget the tailgates for the 24 season on sale now. Let Rebel XP set up your turnkey tailgate just steps away from Memorial Stadium. Spots filling up quickly. Give them a call if you need one at 573-355-9572. Tigers in Vanderbilt coming up this Saturday at 3:15. At sold-out Memorial Stadium in Columbia, the 9th consecutive sellout will greet the Commodores as they come to town. How cool is that to see what has taken place with this, really the way that this fan base has embraced this football program?
Yeah, it's awesome, man.
Yeah.
I mean, to have the support of the fans, it's like no other place I've been, man, and it's awesome, man. So I'm excited, man.
Did you just say it's like no other place you've been? That's kind of cool to hear because this guy was at Auburn.
Yep.
He's been at West Virginia before. Was it Troy? We know Troy doesn't compare to Mizzou. No offense, but when you have an opportunity to be in this profession, right? We all know it can be nomadic, right? Yep. And you have to find the right fit. You got to find the right coach. What is it about this staff and working for this coach that makes sense for Al Pogue?
First of all, Coach Drink and I have a history. The thing is that, like I said, it goes back to the culture and enjoying the guys that you come to work with every day. He does an outstanding job. Well, he's done an outstanding job of putting people together who have specific strengths, and we all coexist. He does a good job of with the staff bonding piece. To make sure, hey, he always talks about, low ego, high output. And I think, the staff, we bought into that, man, and it's just a joy every day to come in and work with these guys.
I want to talk about Corey Batoon here in just a second, but part of that staff bonding and building, you guys obviously have retreats, you do things together as a staff. You also do a Bible study each week, and that's something that everyone finds very beneficial too.
Yes. Yeah, it's outstanding, man. I mean, again, growth is, not only for the players, but for us as well, and for us to continue to be, to grow spiritually as men and model that behavior for our players. Coach Driggs makes that platform available for us, and I'm so appreciative for it.
Corey comes in from South Alabama. He'd been at Ole Miss, obviously, earlier in his career.
Yep.
Just as a defensive coordinator comes in, from your vantage point, what were the things that he did to help you as a defensive staff bond quickly to kind of his ideas and schemes?
Well, the first thing he came in and did, he said, okay, he looked at what were the things that we did well, and so he did a really good job of taking those things and then gradually meshing his ideals with those until it became like gumbo, and we're still trying to find that perfect mixture, and he's doing an outstanding job. But the thing that I give him really credit for, he's really receptive for input. It's not, hey, it's my way or the highway. Now, ultimately, it's his decision in the end, but he's really good about input from everyone.
I'm watching preseason practice, and I noticed this guy, I think number 31, got Pogue on his back.
Yeah.
Your little boy Nasir is now part of this program.
Yes.
What's that like?
It's awesome. I've had the opportunity, I've been blessed to have the opportunity to work with so many other people's kids, and now God has given me an opportunity to work with my own and watch him grow and watch him develop. Now, somebody else coaches him, which is good. So, hey, when he's on the field, hey, he's a Mizzou football player. Then when we get home, I'm dad. So I think, I'm still trying to balance that line. But it is great. It's awesome, man. And I'm thankful that he has his opportunity as well as myself.
So what's that like, though? What are some of the things that you get from a parent standpoint? Just being able to build that deeper relationship when he's at this age?
Just continue to, like I said, just to bring him along and just give him real life lessons, and talk about, because, as parents, we try to help our kids avoid some of the mistakes that we made. And again, man, for me to have that opportunity and to say, hey, did you listen to what your coach was saying? Here's what we saw. Here's what you can do better. It's about improving. Hey, you have to go and develop. And he's a good kid. He's really receptive to it.
Stay on the topic of development, because one of the things you did is that you coached high school ball for a while, 12 years, I believe, right? So in the state of Alabama, how important was that experience in terms of your development as a coach to prepare you to coach at this level?
Most people don't know, but I'm a teacher by trade. I have a degree in special education, and I think, having the opportunity, because, as a high school coach, I didn't have the opportunity to go out and pick players. I had to coach whatever walked in my door, and I think that prepared me to be able to deal with different personalities, different backgrounds and things of that nature. So now, unfortunately, when we have the opportunity to go out and pick players, I still apply that same method as far as, hey, I'm a teacher first. Hey, how can I, get them to learn, know these young men and develop and having a relationship with them and helping them grow.
What has this sport taught you?
Man, that life is precious, man, and nothing is guaranteed. Take advantage of the moment, man, and be thankful that you have an opportunity to be at a great place and work with great people.
Give us a thumbnail sketch on the Vanderbilt offense.
Hey, man, the quarterback makes them go. They're a really good football team, even though they lost slightly. But, man, they're a really good football team. And when they come in here, they're going to, try to beat the Missouri Tigers. So we have to focus on being 1-0 and taking care of the things that we know we have to improve on.
How good are the receivers, particularly a guy like Quincy Skinner?
Man, he can run. Yeah. I mean, those guys can run. They do a really good job of staying with the quarterback when plays break down. They get open, and more importantly, they catch the football.
And they got a tight end, Eli Stowers, just making plays every week.
His teammate. So, we have to eliminate the bad football and go out and just, again, do the things that we practice all week and do what's good for Missouri football.
It's great to see you.
Hey,
Season 3.
Appreciate it, man.
Al Pogue, Missouri's assistant head coach. He coaches the cornerbacks. One of his players, Toriano Pride, joins us next on the Central Bank Tiger Network from Learfield.
The most powerful ideas come from understanding. By asking what's important here. At Great Southern Bank, we start by asking our customers to find out how we're doing and what they really need. Then we get to work, making banking easier and more effective, financing more flexible, and our communities better places to live. It's an ongoing team effort to keep improving how we serve our neighbors day after day. And it all starts with understanding what really matters. Learn more at GreatSouthernBank.com. Member FDIC.
Some days you hit snooze, but not today. Today you have to go on a run to get burgers for the tailgate. You've got to haul something heavy, a cooler stocked with Bud Light. When you've got beer and football, nothing is hard, until the other team scores. Bud Light, easy to drink, easy to enjoy. Enjoy responsibly. 21 plus, copyright 2024, Anheuser-Busch, Bud Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Ma, is this how you feed a hamster?
I think so.
Is my homework right?
I think so.
Is, this milk still good?
I think so.
When it comes to parenting, sometimes it's okay to think you know. But when it's something as important as your child's car seat, don't just think. No. Double check if your child is in the right seat for their age and size. It'll help protect them in a car crash. Don't just think. No by visiting nhtsa.gov/the right seat. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Hear that? That's the sound of your life. Perfectly imperfect. Beating in rhythm to the world you've created. But every time you drive after drinking, the music gets drowned out. Your life sounds pretty great. Don't let a buzz ruin it. Buzz driving is drunk driving. Don't drive buzzed. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Missouri and Vanderbilt, 3:15 is the kickoff coming up this Saturday. A reminder, our coverage begins at 1:15 here on the Central Bank Tiger Network. Don't miss the pregame show on Matrix Midwest. Hey, partner with the Tigers and the Food Bank, the official charitable partner of Mizzou Athletics. Visit scoreagainsthunger.org to learn how you can help with the Score Against Hunger campaign presented by MPICS. Don't forget that this show will originate on November the 12th from the Columns Club at Memorial Stadium, as we will be there for our Taste of the Tiger. This young man announced his arrival to the Mizzou fans against Murray State with a pick six in the first quarter to say, I am back home. Please welcome Toriano Pride. It's great to see you. Welcome to the show. First of all, just let's go back to that play and just what that meant to you in your first game on that turf to be able to make a play like that in front of your home state crowd.
Yeah, that play meant a lot to me. It kind of surprised me with that being the second drive, but that was a big play for me, especially being back home in the SEC. So.
Yeah, we talked about this a little bit during the preseason, just the ability to come back home and to know that your family is just 2 hours away.
Right.
How important was that to you in making the decision to leave Clemson and come here?
That was big for me because being at Clemson, being 11 hours from home, I wasn't able to drive down the road, go see my mom, go see my dad, or just go back home whenever I wanted to. Like, unlike some dudes on the team where they could just drive an hour down the road in Atlanta and go see their family, and I got to stay at Clemson over break. So that played a big role in me coming here, being able to see my family, them being able to get to all the games.
But I would imagine that family was just a part of your decision, right? Ultimately, you go to Clemson, very heralded player, but then you jump in the portal, and obviously you're looking for something.
Right.
What were you looking for?
A home.
And why was this the home that you chose?
Just everything. I seen what Coach Drink was building, what Mizzou defense was doing last year while I was at Clemson. Just seeing the momentum they had, I just wanted to jump on it. I had a relationship with Coach Drink, like coming out of 8th grade, freshman year in high school. So I always trusted Coach Drink and believed everything he told me, even when I did commit to Clemson.
How hard was it to tell him no the first time?
It was super hard. It was very hard.
Do you remember the moment?
Yeah. It was, my dad had to help me.
Yeah.
Me being young, I really didn't want to tell him no. Yeah, I'm a nice person, so it was hard for me to tell people no.
Yeah. But how did he take it?
He didn't take it. He didn't show he took it bad, but he didn't really take it bad for real. He was upset. I could tell he was upset, but it was a business decision, and I think he understood it.
So you jump in the portal. Who's the first person you hear from related to this program and to Mizzou? Was it a coach or was it Luther?
Luther.
What did Luther have to say?
Slide. That's all he said, slide.
Being able to be back and with him, right? Obviously, you play on two different sides of the ball, but you played high school football together. What's it been like to be back around Lou?
It's fun. That's my boy. We've been playing football since we was young in the GFL, JFL, playing against each other, with each other in the FBU. So it's like we kind of grew up around each other, and then it was funny with us playing with each other at East St. Louis, and now us being in college together, being teammates. So it's just like a brother.
I remember some of those preseason practices, too, and watching occasionally against one another.
Yeah.
Not afraid to go at each other, are you?
Oh, no. We love that battle.
And who's the best talker between the two of you?
I say me.
Why does that not surprise me?
I like to talk.
Toriano Pride is with us from from St. Louis, Missouri starting cornerback, had the interception, the pick return against Murray State. Tigers pick up a win this weekend against Boston College. Couple of picks for the defense. How much does that help your defense when you're seeing 5 takeaways in the first 3 games?
Oh yeah, that's good. That's huge momentum for the defense. With us starting out slow, that picked us up.
Yeah, and then, of course, to see guys like Dre Norwood get involved this weekend, Travis Johnson, and also the job you did against a really talented quarterback. I want to talk about Coach Pogue and just your relationship with him and some of the things that he's taught you and areas that he's trying to help you improve as a player. What are some of the areas he's trying to help you improve as a player?
Really just my mindset, just everything. Like, he on me hard at practice, and he just telling me, like, I just want the best for you. I want you to be the best player you want to be. You told me your goal, so he going to hold me accountable to everything. So he just on me.
Help us a little bit understand that word mindset, because it's kind of broad. So specifically, in trying to improve your mindset, what is he trying to do? What are the things you need to work on?
Best way for me to put that is my goal, I want to be a pro, so he going to hold me to that. And I should be thinking and doing a lot of things like a pro right now, because that's where I want to be. So if I'm not thinking like a pro, he gonna tell me like, "Hey, you're not doing what you're supposed to be doing. You say you want this, but you doing that." So he gonna hold me accountable of that.
So correct me if I'm wrong, but part of that would be practice habits.
Yeah, oh yeah, everything. Practice habits, off the field, on the field, just anything.
Watching film, things like that. What are you studying right now?
Sports management.
Sports management. God only gives you a certain amount of time to play this great game.
Right.
When that time comes to a close, what is it in your life you'd like to be doing?
I've been thinking about that lately. I'd probably say coaching.
Yeah.
Probably get back in the coaching field. I want to stick with football.
What is it about coaching that might be attractive to you?
Everything. I get to be a player again. I'm going to be a grown man. I already know myself. I'm going to be like, I wish I could be out there. And the closest thing to that is coaching. And then the atmosphere of college football or wherever I'm at, I still want to be a part of it.
Your team will play before a 9th consecutive sellout this weekend when Vanderbilt comes to town to open SEC play. Mm-hmm. The noise level that you experienced from the jump in game 1 against Murray State, did that catch you by surprise at all?
It did, but it didn't. Being in a new stadium, yeah, like seeing like the atmosphere. I've been telling people all summer, like I haven't been to a Mizzou game in a minute. So seeing last year how they sold out all the games almost, that's something I wanted to experience. But it shocked me though, for real.
Final question for you. Each player talks about the brotherhood that exists within the locker room.
All right.
Define the brotherhood from Toriano Pride's perspective.
Just being there for each other, picking each other up when one's down, somebody doesn't make a play. You don't just walk away, let them just be on the ground or something. You pick them up, let them know next play mentality. Even off the field, you just holding them accountable. If you see them BSing, you just tell them that's not the right thing to do.
What would you say to this fan base as we wrap things up tonight and just you look forward to Saturday's game against Vanderbilt?
Come out Saturday, watch us play Vanderbilt, and watch us go to work.
Go to work indeed. Thank you, man.
Thank you.
That is Toriano Pride, the native of St. Louis, Missouri, starting defensive back. Tigers taking on Vanderbilt coming up this Saturday. Again, the kickoff is at 3:15. It's sold out Memorial Stadium in Columbia. Reminder that very limited tickets available for the Arkansas game. Every other game is sold out. Thanks for being with us from Bud's Classic Barbecue on Matrix Midwest and on the Central Bank Tiger Network from Learfield.
You've been listening to Tiger Talk, presented by Bud's Classic Barbecue, located on 9th Street in downtown Columbia. Also brought to you by Bud Light, easy to drink, easy to enjoy. The preceding has been a Learfield presentation on the Central Bank Tiger Network.